Hey guys, today I'm going to show you the process to remove the battery completely from a boosted board version 2 and then completely put the battery back on. Obviously one of the new features of the version 2 is the removable battery. It's not a quick swap system, so it does require a wrench to take off these 6 hex bolts, so I'm going to show you the process from start to finish. Okay, so I'm going to take a 4mm Allen wrench and loosen all 6 of these 4mm Allen bolts, or hex bolts if you will. They're pretty tight from the factory. I already gave them one little turn just to loosen them up to make this go a little quicker, but from the factory they're really snug. You really can't even tighten them anymore. So it will take a little bit of effort to get them off. You don't have to turn them too much, only about 2 turns to completely disengage the bolt. So only a little bit of the actual bolt will go into the board. They're basically very shallow bolts. So I'm going to loosen all 6 of them. And then there's actually 2 plates here. They're almost like a washer plate, and you can just go ahead and take it off or leave them on. They'll fall off essentially once you remove the battery. So once you take those 6 bolts off, the entire battery will lift off. You can see these are the plates I was referring to. So they're just gonna essentially come off, or you can leave them on. Now once you remove the battery, you'll notice right here there is a white kind of clip, and what it's doing is it's clipping the 2 plugs together. It's kind of a secondary system just to make sure they don't come undone. So what you do is you just push that white clip off of the plugs, and it's kind of fragile, so you kind of got to be careful with it. Once you do that, then you've got these silver threads right here, screw threads, and essentially you just loosen the top one, and that loosens the 2 essentially the 2 plugs. Once they're loose, then you can slide the plugs off and pull it apart, and that's it right there. So there's your battery, there's your plug, and it's taken off. One interesting thing, if the battery's not connected all the way or not connected fully and you try to turn it on, you'll get a yellow light. That basically means that it's not connected to the board. So if you ever see a yellow light, that means you need to go back and reconnect it. So alright, so now we're going to put it back on. Basically just reverse the entire process. You're going to line up these 2 connectors. They only go together one way, so you can't really get it wrong. There's actually a little slot that allows you to line it up. So push those all the way together, and then you're going to screw the plugs back together here. And once you get that screwed back together, then go ahead and take that white clip, push it back down on top of the plug, and now the entire battery is just going to go back down. So you're just going to kind of line up the plug in the slot on the deck so that it goes down nicely, and then kind of line the holes up. They don't line up perfectly, I noticed. They're actually offset a little bit, so it won't be a perfect lineup. So place your metal plates into the let's see here, get them lined up correctly. Put them on top of the battery, and then go ahead and drop these 6 bolts in place and just tighten it all back down. And one thing to note, I don't really think this is something you'd want to do every single day. If your commute consisted of needing to actually swap batteries, I mean, I guess you could do it, but I don't really think it's ideal. And I think over time, if you did it every day, you might start stripping out these bolt connections. So I think this is more something you would do before you go on an airplane flight, if you want to take the battery off so you can just carry it on with you, or if you want to switch between extended range versus standard range battery. And so just go ahead and just tighten them, and keep in mind you want to kind of tighten it all evenly, so maybe a crisscross pattern. Don't tighten one side probably down and then have the other side completely loose. Kind of want to do it like lug nuts on a car. And you want to get it pretty tight. Like I said, from the factory, these are really tight, so it's not something you want vibrating loose. So, and that's pretty much it. I might go back through and tighten them one more time to make sure they're good. So there you guys have it. That is a full battery swap on the new version 2 boosted board. As you can see, it's not too complicated, but it does take a few minutes to do it. So probably something you want to practice a few times before you have to do it out in the field. So there you go, and thanks for watching, guys.